All right, guys, Wes here. Welcome back to another Battlefield 2042 video. And today we've got some major news we got to talk about regarding the future of the Battlefield franchise, as well as where we're kind of at with Battlefield 2042. So if you guys did not know, EA had an earnings call yesterday to talk about their latest financial results. During that call, we got a bunch of news regarding the future of Battlefield 2042, as well as the franchise as a whole. So we're going to break down all of the important information from the call. CEO Andrew Wilson of EA actually talked about Battlefield 2042 and how they plan on approaching things going forward, as well as for the just general Battlefield franchise. We got a brand new op-ed to talk about from Tom Henderson that he just released today that goes over all of the comments made by Andrew Wilson, and he kind of gives a breakdown of what those meant. And he also suggested that the next Battlefield title is set to release sometime in 2024. So definitely stick around till the end of the video, because you guys are not going to want to miss any of this new information, because it has some serious implications for the future of the Battlefield franchise. Hey, what's up everyone? Wes here. Welcome back to another Battlefield 2042 video. And to get started, we're going to go ahead and dive into the op-ed by Tom Henderson. So if we actually take a look at the article, it says that EA is taking the long view with Battlefield, and sources suggest that the next title is going to be in 2024. So Tom started the article by saying, during EA's latest financial call, CEO Andrew Wilson stated that EA is going to take the long view with the Battlefield franchise. And this is of course following Battlefield 2042's disappointing launch and failure to bring players back to the game following its latest 4.0 update. So an analyst by the name of Mario Liu from Barclays posed this question: I'm curious if there is any updates on the Battlefield franchise. I know you guys previously mentioned that you're willing to kind of invest more into the Battlefield franchise in the long term, but has that mindset changed in the past few weeks given the lack of resurgence from the latest update? To which Andrew Wilson, the CEO, responded, no, and again, we take a long view here. This is one of the greatest franchises in our industry, built by one of the great teams in our industry, and our expectation is that will continue to grow and really be an important part of our portfolio for many, many years to come. So to summarize, they don't plan on taking a new approach. They're going to be supporting the Battlefield franchise for years. So at least for right now, they have no plans of ending the Battlefield franchise like EA has done with other games like Dead Space and pretty much every other IP that EA touches. Now, whether or not this means that they plan on supporting the main franchise, or if they're just going to spend all of their money trying to prop up the Battlefield mobile because that just is better return for them, I personally have no idea. But Tom Henderson said that there are some sources that do suggest that they're already in development with the next game and it's going to release sometime in 2024. But at the current rate things are going right now with the development, I have no idea if they're even going to have the season pass done by the time 2024 hits. In the article, Tom then goes on to say that Wilson's comments seemingly didn't answer the question directly in regards to Battlefield 2042, but rather the Battlefield franchise as a whole. EA is stuck between a rock and a hard place with Battlefield 2042, and it shouldn't be surprising to hear the publisher is looking at the franchise as a long view because there's no other choice. Tom then went on to say that Battlefield 2042 was set to be the most innovative Battlefield title ever, and it was meant to be the cornerstone for the future of Battlefields. 6 months on, and the title is struggling to hit 2,000 concurrent players on Steam, with sources suggesting that 10,000 concurrent players across all of its platform are an impossible task now. Tom continued on in the article saying EA was forced to make significant changes to the Battlefield leadership team almost immediately following the game's launch, with Vince Zampella, Marcus Leto, Byron Bede, Christian Gass, and Rebecca Kotis all being drafted to work on the series going forward. As much as I'm happy with all of the leadership changes that EA has made for Battlefields, we are still years out from those changes even being implemented. So I would hope that whatever Vince and their team is doing is kind of bringing things back to the roots of the Battlefield franchise, and maybe even doing a full relaunch of the franchise based on feedback from the fans. We did not ask for a hero shooter. We asked for a BF3, BF4 remastered, and what we got was just not it. Whenever I play Battlefield 2042 right now, it's either full of AI in my lobby, or the only way that I'm dying is through robotic dogs or sentry guns that are just headshot magnets. Next up, we have to talk about some comments that Tom Henderson made about the next Battlefield game. Yes, we're already talking about the next Battlefield game, as depressing as that is, but according to the Tom Henderson article, he actually talked about the next Battlefield game. I'll leave a link in the article in the description, so definitely go click on that. Full credit to Tom Henderson. But he said, and I quote, "The next Battlefield title has been in development for some time now, and rumblings have suggested a 2023 Battlefield release could happen." He said, in fact, in August last year, Wilson had suggested that a Battlefield will release in 2023 by saying, "I think that is our orientation," in response to a question about biannual releases in EA's Q1 2022 quarterly earnings call. Although it seems like this was indeed the plan, sources have said that they'd be surprised if this came to fruition. Presumably, this means that the next Battlefield title is likely going to release in 2024. Tom stated that it's a bittersweet moment disappointment knowing that Battlefield could capitalize on a lack of premium annual Call of Duty title in 2023, but history cannot repeat itself with this next Battlefield title, which I think we can all agree with. Now, we also have some more news regarding the earnings call, specifically when talking about Vince Zampella and the new leadership change, but they stated that they're rethinking the development process from the ground up and really using kind of the Vince Zampella respawn model of get to the fun as quickly as possible. They've been doing thousands of updates for the community, working on quality of life, and really getting to the core game right now. He said, I think there's still more work to do there, and the team is committed to doing that work for the community. But how it is right now, they're taking their entire development process to fixing the core game, which is definitely good, but they also have to start bringing new content to the game to get people interested in playing. I really don't know how hard it is to bring a new weapon to the game as well as bring a bunch of other fixes to the game as well. Why would it be so hard for them to walk and chew bubblegum at the same time? You could fix a bunch of things and then add a new weapon. Yeah, will it change the meta a little bit? Will they have to go ahead and fix that meta as well? Yes, but that is the feedback loop that we're looking for, not complete radio silence, fix all the bugs, and then once the community has completely died off because of lack of content and just the game is just not fun, they release content to try to bring people back, but it just doesn't work because they lost faith in the development. And then the entire EA Battlefield cycle continues where they stop the development and then they focus on the next game. At this point, I am ready for the next Battlefield. I would like to see what Vince Zampella and his team are doing. I would like to see a core experience that is completely different than this one and kind of brings us back to the roots of the Battlefield franchise, as I've said multiple times. But the reality is we are consumers. We bought the product that they're selling. We expect new content as well as a working, polished experience at the same time. And what we've gotten is just half of that equation. I really hope that they continue to update the game, make it a better and playable experience, bring the fun back to the game, but they are currently running on borrowed time. There's not much time for them to actually make a comeback with this game to give us the No Man's Sky moment that we've wanted, because at that point, it's going to be time for the next Battlefield game that might release in 2024, which if that's the case, then I'm down. Let's get us a new experience. Let's start this fresh so the community can then start to rebuild and get things back to where it used to be during the peak of the franchise. Next up, we've got some more news to talk about regarding the EA earnings call. This is from Battlefield Bulletin, and they tweeted out that Battlefield Mobile will go into further testing at the end of May. Subject to the metrics plus data, we may look towards the end of the year, beginning of next year for the global launch. EA wants to make sure that it has all of the soft launch and closed beta tests that it needs. Who would have thought a Battlefield game would have QA testing and soft launches? Maybe that should be the focus for Battlefield going forward. And can I just say the Battlefield Mobile already looks like a better experience than Battlefield 2042? Like, just this cover art alone looks like a Battlefield game. What we have for 2042 just looks like a shell of its former self. Battlefield Bulletin then tweeted out the next Battlefield Mobile alpha test will feature new maps and will be available in the following countries for Android users: Mexico, Colombia, Egypt, and Iraq. New images revealed. You can pre-register here. Like, looking at all of these images, imagine what could have been for Battlefield 2042. This is the design that we're looking for in a Battlefield game. This is what we all wanted. So I commend the team that's working on Battlefield Mobile, because I think what needs to happen is DICE needs to take some notes and reset how they think about a Battlefield game, because this right here is what we wanted with 2042 in terms of design, not all of the definable character specialist garbage. But yeah, guys, that is going to wrap it up with this video. We've got another big video coming out tomorrow talking about some new changes coming to Battlefield 2042, so definitely stay tuned to the channel tomorrow. Be sure to do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe with your notifications on, and don't forget to check back again tomorrow because we have got a great video coming out. Thanks again for watching. This has been Wes, and I will talk to you guys again soon.